Hey guys, welcome to Pastry Living. This is Aya. Today, let's make amazing no-bake strawberry cheesecake. The light and smooth cheesecake filling and strawberry topping on top taste incredible together. So let's get started. Alright, so before we work on the crust, let's prepare for the pan first. I am folding parchment paper here to make cake liners so that you can take out the cheesecake out of the pan more easily and apply soft butter all over the surface. Now, you do not necessarily have to grease the side, but for me, it's just easier to attach the crust on the side when the parchment paper doesn't move around. Next, melt unsalted butter either with hot water or the microwave. And crushed graham crackers. Today I'm using a Ziploc with rolling pin, but you can also use food processor to do this. I only had a small Ziploc bag, but if you use a little bit bigger one. I like to leave some small pieces instead of just making it super powdery because I think the texture feels a lot better. It gives a better, more crumbly texture. Add granulated sugar and the warm melted butter. Mix until well combined. Pour that into the prepared pan. And press really well to form a crust. And do this immediately before the butter inside the crust cools down too much. You can use a lava spatula, measuring cup, or even your hand, whichever works best for you. And chill this in the fridge until right before use. To make the cheesecake filling, hydrate the gelatin first. Add icy cold water. Mix well and set it aside for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, in a large bowl, add cream cheese and mix with a whisk to ensure it's nice and smooth. It is so important to use softened cream cheese at room temperature for this because cold cream cheese does not blend well. It's just gonna be a pain. So leave it at room temperature for some time. Now add sour cream, mix roughly. Add granulated sugar, mix again. And add lemon juice. The little bit more tartness goes so well with strawberries and vanilla extract. And mix until combined. Now set that aside and let's work on the whipped cream. It is very important to whip heavy cream until it gets very fluffy and stiff. By using stiff whipped cream instead of loose one, you'll need less gelatin to set the cheesecake filling, and it really creates fluffier, lighter cheesecake texture. The cheesecake filling is going to get looser when using loose whipped cream. Now the gelatin is hydrated nicely and we're gonna heat it up with either water bath or microwave. Do not boil it, but make sure it is very warm. It should be almost a little bit hot. Add some of the cream cheese mixture and mix. One mistake I made right here is that I used such a tiny cup, so it was harder for me to do this quickly. I highly recommend using a larger bowl to do this more easily. And pour that into the cheesecake filling. Ensure to add all the gelatin in it because it plays a huge role to firm up the cheesecake. And mix right away until evenly incorporated. Scrape off the side of the bowl and clean the whisk to ensure everything is mixed evenly. Now add about 1/3 to half of the cream cheese mixture into the whipped cream and fold until combined. And now pour that back into the remaining cream cheese mixture and fold until evenly incorporated. Toward the end, clean up the spatula, the sides, and the bottom of the bowl. And here I am just doing the final check. And it is done. So let's pour that into the pan. And I like to tap or push a little bit to ensure there is no holes or gaps inside. And flatten the surface using a cake spatula. And chill it in the fridge for about 5 hours. And meanwhile, let's make strawberry topping. Wash strawberries and wipe off all the moistures. Out of all the 1 pound of strawberries, take half of it and cut them into small pieces like this. And cut the remaining strawberries in half. In a bowl, whisk sugar and cornstarch. By doing it, you can't get rid of lumps of cornstarch. Now heat pieces of strawberries, sugar and cornstarch mixture, and lemon juice at medium heat and continue heating until it's thickened enough. The cooking time really depends on how big the pan is and the strength of the heat. With mine, it usually takes about 7 minutes. Once it starts bubbling hot, I usually turn down the heat just to ensure I'm not gonna burn it. Mix it evenly and frequently to prevent it from getting burnt. And now it is thickened about this much. It looks like a jam, and the line should stay like that when scraping the bottom. So I'm gonna stop right here, add strawberries cut in half, and heat it for about another 1 minute. And that's it. Remove from the heat, pour that into the bowl, and set it aside in the fridge until it's chilled completely. And this is optional, but today I am adding whipped cream on the side because I love it. It tastes so good with strawberry cheesecake. I highly recommend adding it whenever you can. When you coat butter on the side, insert a cake spatula between the parchment paper and the pan. Don't forget to do this because they are glued together due to the butter. And finally, transfer the cake with cake palette. And pour strawberry topping on top. It's so hard to describe how delicious this cheesecake is. I think you're going to love it if you love strawberry cheesecake, or I would love you to try it if you haven't had no-bake cheesecake before. It is so smooth, light and fluffy, and not overly sweet. It tastes amazing with the crumbly crust and the melty, fresh strawberry topping on top. So I hope you give it a try and let me know how you enjoyed it with your family and friends. Rub the surface tightly and store in the fridge. And I personally like to eat it earlier, like within that day, because the texture is lighter. Over time, it gets a little bit heavier. And I know some of you like that, so it might be just a preference. Today, I used a 9-inch pan to make this cheesecake. but you can of course change that. You can make it with smaller cake pans or even cupcake pan, which I did in this video. This is actually baked cheesecake, but just like that you can make the mini version. Today I used gelatin powder, but you can of course use gelatin sheets instead. But when using gelatin sheets, soak them in icy cold water and wait for about 10 minutes. And today I used Knox gelatin, and the bloom is about 230. Bloom is a strength of gelatin, and when the number is higher, the cheesecake gets firmer, and the opposite happens when it is lower. So just be mindful with that. I recommend checking the number whether you use gelatin powder or sheets. So thinking about strawberry cheesecake, I think of two kinds, either plain cheesecake with strawberry topping on it, which I did today, or pink strawberry cheesecake with actual strawberry puree or strawberry flavor in it. And I was thinking which one I should do this time, and I decided to go for the classic one, but I'd love to share the pink version as well. I'm not sure when, but I definitely will, so stay tuned. And if you love strawberry like me, don't forget to check out more strawberry dessert recipes down below. You can also find more cheesecake recipes, including classic baked cheesecake. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy pastry living, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.